I have not done an update since I created our debt confession video way back in August. We're going to get into it. I'm going to give you an outline of what we're going to do. First, I'm going to go over our savings and where we're at with that. And then I will go through and give, first of all, the total debt overview. And then if you remember back, we had established like tiers of debt. And I'll go over the general or the amount in each tier. And then I'll go through the individual things inside those tiers and let you know what the total is for the individual items. Okay, let's get started. Savings. We had a goal of replenishing a checking cushion. Now, if you remember back to that video, I talked about like our crazy insane summer. Our income dropped for a couple of months and we had all sorts of stuff happen. You know, that ended up draining the small emergency fund we had, and then more on top of that. We had the goal of establishing a $300 checking account cushion, which we did. So that goal's done. Next goal is to get a starter emergency fund of $2,500 in our savings account. And that's actually what we had last year. So we started at none. Currently we have $1,555 in savings. That is not a lot, I realize. I have $945 left to fund. Now on to the debt, the interesting part, right? All right, so we started out with $267,607. We have reduced that to $263,928. So we have reduced the total amount of debt by $3,679, and that is with doing minimum payments currently. Now let's get into the debt tiers. We are, first of all, working on our starter emergency fund, and then we're moving to tier 1 debt, and then we're looking at doing a fully funded emergency fund, and then tier 2 debt. And then after that, we're going to kind of decide what to do with tier 3, which is the mortgage. And I know some people don't really view that as a true debt. So that's why we're holding off on even deciding what to do with that. Tier 1, total debt that we had starting out was $10,002. As of today, that amount is $7,040. So we have reduced that by $2,962. Moving on to tier 2 debt, which are the student loans. We are on an income-driven repayment plan for the student loans. No going in, the balance on that will increase until we reach that point in our plan. So student loans started out at $81,587. Currently, they are $82,589, and that is an increase of $1,002. The mortgage, this would be tier 3. The mortgage started at $177,737. As of today, that is down to $176,018. So we have reduced the mortgage by $1,719. Now let's get into the individual debts. And really, this is just the individual debts inside tier 1. Musical instrument starting balance was $560. That's 0%. The current balance is $396. The next debt we have is education travel for my daughter. That also was another controversial debt, but it is what it is. It's a 0%. And the total starting out was $2,378. We have that down to $1,500 even. So we've reduced that one by $878. Then We have the Discover card. The starting balance was $2,622. As of today, it is sitting at $1,870. So we have reduced that by $752. Again, 0%. A vehicle loan. We have one paid off vehicle and then this vehicle loan. And this is our only debt that has an interest rate in tier 1. The vehicle loan started out in August at $4,442. As of today, when I checked, it was $3,274, and that is at a 5.4% interest rate. So that has been reduced by $1,168. So there is the financial update. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.